This video is specifically for South Africans and the COVID-19 situation. Alright, let's break it down. Now, it's really interesting when you come across breaking news or something is seen as breaking news and it just so happens to be a traditional healer or traditional doctor who just comes out and encourages South Africans to take the COVID-19 vaccine. And it makes breaking news. Why is this significant? Okay, it's significant because traditional healers in South Africa, they're pretty much still intact with what we see and recognize as the less Western-orientated, form of subscribing to medicinal usage by using traditional practices and methodologies that have been passed down from generation to generation, which they've learned and have been ascribed onto by those who have been experienced over the years, experience in the knowledge or who have the knowledge of how nature works and how to mix certain herbs and certain natural substances that are prescribed for medicinal purposes and usage. So it's knowledge that is passed down. Typically, it's not knowledge that is assimilated through a formal education like such as those who go to medical school. Now, we need to differentiate the difference between a traditional doctor and a witch doctor. Okay, witch doctor, witchcraft. People tend to confuse those two things. Okay, very, very different. Traditional doctor is a doctor, but from a traditional background, African traditional background, or whatever cultural background it might be, who is less conventional. So why is that important and why is it making news? It's breaking news all of a sudden. They consider it to be breaking news because it's important to recognize the importance of expertise, those with a certain knowledge and those who know better, and why it's important to listen to people who trust processes and who trust formal processes, or who have a certain wisdom from experience of having to deal with diseases of different kinds and having to see a pandemic and seeing what it does to a country and its people. They've seen quite a lot. It's important to always listen to people's perspective. Those who come from a very specific perspective. It's important because there are still people in Africa who subscribe to traditional doctors and hold a certain amount of respect for traditional doctors more than the conventional, doctor. Why I decided to kind of cite this, not just citing this because I want to talk about COVID-19 or traditional doctors or whatever, but I want to kind of highlight the importance of why it's important to encourage people to do things, but having good insight and oversight about issues. I'm very disappointed in Christians. I'll be like really straight up. Okay, I was kicked out of a group one time because I was very much opposing to their. They were so much into conspiracy theories that were unfounded, videos that were only spreading conspiracies and discouraging people from taking the vaccine or any progress about the vaccine, and they were all about the New World Order and Pope being the mark of the beast and raptures and all sorts of things. So it was just a little bit of theology mixed with conspiracies and mixed with a lot of misconceptions as well, and stupidity altogether. It's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Now, if someone that doesn't want to really take the vaccine, that's fine, don't take the vaccine, but don't discourage other people from taking the vaccine, really, until you do your own research anyway. If you're going to be skeptical, but, let's be skeptical with a bit of sanity. We should be leading in the forefront. We should be actively involved with what's happening in the world, and we should be observing, and we should be speaking not out of tone, but speaking with like people who are sane-minded. Be of sober mind, as the Bible will say. Speak like people who are sober-minded, not like people who don't have any sense in them about what's going on. Be of sober-minded. We need to being sober-minded has to do with being serious. Be serious about what we're doing. Be sensible about what you're doing. We need to be considerate, and we need to consider all different aspects. If you choose to go with a narrative, that's fine, but be considerate of all different aspects. Be composed in what you do. It doesn't help to just go around freaking out and spreading rumors and being involved in endless genealogies and conspiracies and all sorts of things that people say out there just for the sake of clout and for the sake of sounding relevant. It's not helpful. It's not helping the country. COVID-19, deaths have increased, especially in Limpopo, where I come from. And it's not nice because you have parents who live there. They are actual people. They are actual people who live there with, the elders that the statistics are talking about. Those who are the most vulnerable, some of them are our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents who are still alive of these things. So if you're one of those people that are discouraging people about the vaccine, I will ask you to just reassess yourself. Assess yourself very carefully before you do that. Before you chase negative clout, be very, very careful. I'll just ask you to do enough research on both sides. Listen to both sides and do what you didn't do before, please, because it is important to spread the right kind of information. And again, specifically to Christians that I'm talking to. All right. So that's what I want to talk about. Sobriety, please. Let's start breaking news with sobriety, like people who know better. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say, guys. God bless. Do stay safe. Do observe. Please remind people, especially in rural places, to observe protocols, COVID-19 protocols, because it's still out there, guys. We can't beat this thing unless people change their behavior in some way. Sounds damning, but it's not that hard. It's really not that difficult. But ridiculing the whole process and procedure and the government and science and whatever the case may be and everything that God has created and mandated and allowed doesn't really help. Okay, guys, it doesn't help. So let's do better. All right, thanks for watching. And God bless. Do like the video, do subscribe, do leave a comment. And let's keep on living. All right, guys. Cheers. Thanks.